Hey everybody, this is Nathan Simmons, and I am going to be showing on this video today how to download leads on the mobile device by a certain location. So where you're going to get to this on your mobile device is from the leads tab, and you can see there's 5 tabs down at the bottom of the screen. And so you'll want to be on the leads tab, and my screen may look a little bit differently than what you may see, especially if you're first logging into the app for the first time. But I will cover this screen on another video. But most of the time, you will download leads by a location. I would say 9 times out of 10, that's what the majority of everybody does is download either by a city, a zip code, or you can even search up by a business name. But where you're going to go to do that is up at the top right, at the very top right of your screen, where you can see there's this little guy with a circle around it and an addition symbol. So let me get this to load here, and let me clear my filters. So when you first log in on your mobile device, it's going to give you a list of leads, and depending on where you may be, here's the crazy thing about this app is, right now I have no filters set on this. There's really no parameters to how I've got this sorted. I just clicked on the claim leads button, and you can see here it's giving me a list of businesses that are available for me to download. If they're not available to download, they will not show up on this screen. So you can see there's Midland, Dallas, Southlake, Texarkana. I've kind of got businesses all over the place here. So in order for me to, you know, decide where I want to do, what area I want to download, I can do one of two things. And so the first option is for you to use the search bar. Now, the beauty about Agent Assist is you can actually download leads from anywhere that you would like. You're not limited to a certain area, so it doesn't have to be in your territory or anything like that. So just know that. Now, sometimes you may search a city, you may search a zip code, and sometimes it will time out and say that there's no leads available in this area. Just do the search again, and you may have to do it a couple times. Sometimes refresh the app, and you'll be able to get there. So my personal preference of the best way to use the claim leads function is by using the search bar. And so you can search by a business name if you choose to do so, which will give you kind of like a Google search. You can also search a city. The only thing you need to be aware of is if you search by a city, it will give you businesses that are in whatever city that you're searching for, but it will also give you businesses, or it will show you results of businesses that have that city's name in it as well. So you need to be aware of that because you may be searching for Tyler Auto Sales and in Tyler, Texas, and you may think that, or you may click a business that says Tyler Auto Sales, and it may actually be, in El Paso. And so you just want to make sure that you're paying attention to that. So, if you can certainly do the name of a city, but you don't necessarily have to. My personal preference is to use zip codes. Zip codes is by far the most efficient, in my opinion, as far as being able to keep everything in one location and in a concentrated manner. And so let's say I want to do the zip code of 75019, which is a Dallas Fort Worth area zip code of Coppell, Texas. Give it some time to circulate. So all I've got to do, type in the zip code and let it do its search. All right, so here we go. And so you can see I've actually used this zip code before. One of the the good parts about this, you can actually see if there's been businesses that have been claimed previously by you, or if you've maybe abandoned it. So just for the sake of this, so I haven't set any other metrics to this. I haven't filtered this in any other way other than just typing in the zip code, and it looks like it just timed out on me. That's weird. So let me type the zip code in again. There we go. So now I can then click as little or as many as I would like, and I can hit save. And once I save them, now there they are in the Coppell area right there. Okay, those ones that are green there. So let me go back to the claim leads button. And so that's one way is by using the search bar. The other way is you could actually use a map. And so the way that you can use the map on the mobile device is by using the filter button that is right next to the search bar. It looks like a funnel. So if you click that filter button, you're going to be using the first two options up here at the top where it says show leads, and currently I've got it showing me everything. It says show all leads. So what I would do is I could then select any given radius that I would like to use. You can kind of see that there's multiple different options, but let's say I want to do something, everything within 5 miles of a certain location. So I could do my current location, and if I hit apply, it will give you everything within 5 miles of wherever you're currently at. So I would certainly have location services turned on your phone just in case that's what you'd like to do. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a custom location. So if I do custom location, I can then place the center of my radius wherever I would like it to be. So let's say I wanted to do McKinney, Texas here. So I can place it somewhere in McKinney, and I'm going to hit done. And so that's my estimate location that I just placed, and it actually looks like I selected 0 to 20. I'm going to go back to 0 to 5 here. And I hit apply. It will then give me everything within 5 miles of where I have selected the center of that radius circle. And so again, there's not any other reason to how this is being sorted and what order these are in, because I haven't filtered this in any other way other than just by location. So I hit save, and sure enough, there are those 14 leads that I just selected there in the McKinney area. So, all right. So the final thing that I'll show you guys is, so that's clearly how you can determine the location that you want. But in either manner, whether you're searching by a zip code or you're searching by a specific area within the radius. So let's say, for instance, that I wanted to do out in West Texas. I'll give some West Texas love. 79707. Say I wanted to look up businesses in the West Texas area, and so currently, right now, you can see I've got businesses that are showing up just in that zip code here. All right, I haven't filtered this in any other manner. So I've got the location that I want. I can even filter this even further by, again, clicking the funnel button or the filter button. And I'm not gonna mess with the first two tabs right here because I've already got the location that I want. I've typed in my zip code. I'm just now going to make my search even more finite and even more specific. So there are a couple of different options. You can actually have it show you leads in the zip code that I selected. You can have it show you leads that are new, that nobody has ever called upon before. You can have it show you leads that have been qualified before. And you can even have it show you leads that have had appointments ran on them before. In my opinion, you don't really need to worry about this because the way this app works is if these businesses are in the app, then we do not have their business. So don't worry too much about it. Just because this, you may have a business that you may think have been qualified before or has had an appointment ran on before doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to have a leg up just because sometimes that can mean the exact opposite. And we don't know when it was last qualified. So just something to be mindful of. I could also have it show me businesses that have a specific industry. If I wanted to do, construction and retail or whatever, I could even filter it down to specific things. Now, one thing that I will mention for this year, in the year 2021, what Colonial Life is actually doing is you have the capability or you have the opportunity to actually earn double the case count for groups in specific industries. And so those industries are construction, manufacturing, and wholesale. So it may be worth filtering some certain locations and setting those three industries of, seeing what businesses that fall in those three industry ratings, maybe spend some more time in those than what you maybe have done in the past. So certainly an option, because there's definitely a financial incentive for you to do so now with some quarter to date and year to date bonuses to be able to earn more money. So, and then even on, if I say I wanted to look at public sector businesses, if I click public sector, you can see that there are some extra options for me to choose from to even pick more of a specific, what kind of public sector. Are we talking education, some schools, state governments? You can then select it even more specific to that. But let's just say I just wanted to focus on the three that, I can earn additional case counts on this year. So we also have an essential business listing. If for some reason we ever get back to the point of where we're all having to quarantine and, only essential businesses are going to be open, we have that capability of being able to just search for businesses that we know are going to be open should we have, another quarantine of some sort across the nation. And then we also have employee size. You can, maybe you would like to focus on a business that are some smaller businesses, 50 employees or less, a lot less levels of management to get through. You can, have a quick turnaround time. I would say that's my preference. I love working with small businesses because they have the same needs as some of the larger companies. And, you could certainly, focus on larger companies should you want to have it show you everything that's got, 250 or more employees. Again, I'm going to leave it wide open to have it show me everything, no matter the company size. Just because the way that I look at it is, if you go get a big group, that's great, but it's not something that I would necessarily focus on, just because those take a long time to close, or take longer to close. And so a lot of the big groups, I would say, me personally, that I've ever closed, it was just right place, right time. It's because I was consistent and doing what I was supposed to be doing day in and day out. And the last option is, you can have it show you businesses based on the organization of their company. And so, again, just to recap, currently right now, I've got the zip code I want from the previous screen. I've got, I want it to show me businesses that are construction businesses or are manufacturing or wholesale, but I can also select, I want it to narrow down and show me businesses that identify as the headquarter location or businesses that identify as the only location that they have. That way I'm getting rid of any potential divisions or branches where the decisions may not be made, and I would be essentially wasting my time contacting them because I'd be contacting the wrong location, or even trying to go run an appointment at the wrong location. So I've got everything that I want here, and if I hit apply, it's going to then filter my search. And so I've got the zip code of 79707, and the list that's going to result is it's going to show me all the businesses in that zip code that are construction businesses, manufacturing, wholesale, and also identify as the headquarter location and or the only location that they have. And it looks like my search request is too large, of course. Let me hit apply again. Sometimes it just takes searching it over and over again. Sometimes if it searches too long, it can time out. Well, I'm not sure why it's doing that, but just for the sake of this video, let me show you how you can amend this. Instead of me doing the zip code, let's say I wanted to do everything within 10 miles of custom location. You know what? We'll go ahead and we'll go all the way out to West Texas in Midland. And here we go. Say I wanted to do right there in the middle of Midland, Texas. Everything within, I'm going to go 10 miles. Now I hit apply. All my other filters are still selected. And here we go. Why? Oh, it automatically did custom location. Let me go back and do that again. 0 to 10 miles from a custom location. Now I hit apply. There we go. All right, so now you can see these are all businesses that are within 10 miles of where I placed the center of my little radius circle there. And these are all businesses that identify as construction, manufacturing, or wholesale location or wholesale industries. And all of these should be either the headquarter location of their company, or this is the only location that they have. So again, I can then select as little or as many as I'd like. I hit save, and so now if you scroll out here, there we go. There are the ones that I just selected. So that's how you do this on the mobile device. There's a couple different options, whether you do the zip code or you do the search bar. And so, again, I would say sometimes if it just times out, you may want to minimize your search, just because there are some limitations to searching. Sometimes if you have too big of a search area, and you kind of saw how I was able to work around that with just by changing it from a zip code to just changing it to the map version. That way it was a little bit of a smaller search window. So hopefully you found this video useful, and maybe now you can make some sense of how to actually search for businesses in the areas that you would like to do so.